Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the video, and today it's going to be a little bit different of a video. I kind of wanted to go over what's been happening in Bannerlord since 1.7.2 dropped. A little bit of, dev news, some stuff that they talked about, some relevant stuff to Bannerlord. Also, I wanted to kind of check out the stats of Bannerlord and do, maybe a shout out or something like that, and go from there. Just for anybody who's wondering what's been going on, because it's been kind of silent from the devs, but at the same time, they're probably just working. It is what it is. But let's get right into it. So first, we have this post by what's called a player asking a question about the dev team. He says, with the same number of devs working on it, you haven't moved a lot of them onto another project and left a smaller core to finish Bannerlord? Nothing monumental, unwise like that. So he's pretty much asking, hey, did you guys, what's it called? Lower the dev team for Bannerlord so they can work on something new? Which, to be honest, it's like, we're getting kind of close to the ending, man. You know what I mean? I think it's already past like the day that they said they were going to release it, but we're getting pretty close. We're getting pretty close. They said Q2 of 2022, if I'm not mistaken, right? Unless it got moved. I think did it get moved back again? But at the same time, I think it's like we're getting closer towards the ending. So I really wouldn't mind if they kind of went and did another project. But I know some people are going to get kind of mad about that take. So it is what it is. But he says some come, some go. Probably more than than I started though. So pretty much, hey, there's more devs actually. When they started, it was probably less. They probably hired more devs as the game continues. So pretty good. So they didn't. They actually aren't. He's pretty much saying like they're free to work on whatever they want to work on. I'm pretty sure they have projects that they want in the future, projects that are just starting right now, and also obviously the projects they currently have, right? Like Bannerlord. I'm pretty sure, to run a successful dev team, you need to think about the future and the present. You know what I mean? You can't just be stuck on one thing. You got to, diversify. But there it is. There's that. Next, we have, what's it called? More questions. So first we have, is there an ETA for the feature of being able to use mods while playing the game on a streaming cloud gaming service like NVIDIA GeForce Now? I've never used that. So I have no I don't know what that is. I haven't seen anything on this topic and would be a needed add. Also, because the game is available on GeForce Now since launch. While playing the game on a streaming cloud gaming service. Is that like consoles? Like console playing? Like PS, what's it called? Like the PS5 and all that stuff? To play it on there? Or no? Wait, it's not even on consoles yet. What is this? What is the streaming cloud gaming? I don't know what this is. But let's see what he has to say about this. He says, this is currently not part of our plans, and even if we were to add it, we would likely prioritize general modding capabilities, custom servers, and Steam Workshop over it, aka do those first. Okay. So is it just a way so you can stream the game? Is it like a capture service, like OBS or something like that? Interesting. Okay, but he's pretty much says that they're not working on that, and what's it called? They like to prioritize what's called obviously modding capabilities. There's been a lot of modding changes being added every single patch, so they're definitely on that. Custom servers. It's been a long time coming. We still don't have it. We'll see when that gets added. And then Steam Workshop, we need it. We need it. We need it. We need it. You know what I mean? Alrighty. Moving on, we have another one. Also, why on earth the option to continue as one of your troops after you die is not a vanilla option? Mount Blade is more oriented towards a human player character. I think that experience would be reduced if you had the body shifting in single player missions. That's my take, but whatever the case, this is not currently desired for the base game. Okay. So pretty much what they said is they didn't want to make it that way because it would kind of take away from the immersion, the experience of the game. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's an easy mod to make. Someone will probably make it in the future. Next we have more questions. We got Blood Griffin. Okay. You'd be surprised how much impact the mercenaries have on the ability for a kingdom and still has some land and clans in it to make a comeback. It's a good feature in that sense. And then he states, at the developer, what are your thoughts about kingdoms dissolving once it gets down to just the ruling clan with no land at all? At that point, there is little to no chance of them rebuilding their kingdom, even with mercenaries. So I think it would be fair to consider them defeated. Low key, yeah. I think that kind of obviously makes sense. If a kingdom looks like it's gonna die, usually people desert it or start a new coalition. You know what I mean, under a different name, different ruler, and this and that. You know what I mean? So it's like a new kingdom will be born out of, the ashes of the old. You know what I mean? Like that's usually how it kind of went. But usually in Bannerlord, they stick to it, man. Hey, they stick to it. They could have nothing, and they'll be like, "All right, we're still gonna rep this." He states the question then becomes, what do we do with ruling clans that dissolve their kingdom? I got a few ideas. Okay, maybe once they lose all their lands and are only a clan left, they can then be recruited by another kingdom, and once this happens, their kingdom dissolves. Okay, maybe they could like merge. You know what I mean? That'd be kind of cool. Maybe after some time period, 2-4 seasons of being a solo clan with no land, they become mercenaries. Also, cool choice. And 3, if you didn't want to keep them in the game, remove them from the game and pop a message that says they have left the lands to return to their homeland or start a new life in a different place. That would be kind of chaotic. But, interesting. Also interesting. Then he says, this is something we are thinking of. This is developer speaking. He says, this is something that we are thinking of. The death and disappearance of the kingdoms. I do not have a clear idea on how it would be conducted, though. For kingdoms to die, I believe there should be a way. There should be a way for a new kingdom to emerge as well. Yet this is a complicated process demanding high development and quality assurance effort. Yeah, so it would be a big feature, and obviously the cool thing about Bannerlord, it being a sandbox and all, right? Like the world runs by itself, but adding certain features can impact the world, and you have to make sure you have to like play test it in a lot of different variations to make sure all the different variations work. Because if they don't, then a lot of bugs can happen. You know what I mean? So I understand that, but I think it would be kind of a worthwhile thing to have. You know what I mean? It could dramatically change the game if we could have like different kingdoms dissolving and popping up. Different, you know what I mean? It'll make every single playthrough just that more different and just that more replayability. You know what I mean? I think it would be a pretty good feature, in my opinion. And he states, one idea we have is that kingdoms which disappear can reappear with certain conditions or events, such as low loyalty in several of the kingdom's original towns at the same time, or maybe successful rebellions can claim the ownership of the fall kingdom. Well, what if that is the case? But what if once they do successfully retake some land, why don't they change their name to something that's similar, but has like something at the end of it? You know what I mean? Like for the Sturgans, let's say the Sturgans just like got completely wiped out, but then eventually they found, you know what I mean, the men to actually take up another town. What if they become the Forgotten Sturgans? You know what I'm saying? What if they get like a different name? That's kind of a bad example, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like it's like they change their name a little bit, so it becomes like a new type of kingdom, and then obviously the leader has to change as well. You know what I mean? I think that'd be pretty cool. Then he said, still, these are hypothetical. Reducing them to mercenaries also requires a way for them to climb back up there. Up or there would be unwanted game states with all former clans are mercenary clans. Yeah, that can also happen. So obviously the mercenary clans, if they can get bumped down, there has to be a way for them to get bumped up as well. Then he says, however, I believe the original problem with destroying kingdom discussion stems from the fact that they keep spawning and returning to battle endlessly because of the way spawn mechanics work. Perhaps the spawn mechanic can be adjusted to reduce the strength/delay the spawn of the new parties created, so that the player does not have to micromanage and kill each member of the kingdom's clans. Yeah, low key, I've been thinking kind of about it. What if that could be like a setting, like in the options, right? Where it's like we could have the current way that they spawn, which is kind of fast at the same time, but I think it's manageable. You know what I mean? I think it's still manageable. You can still do what you have to do. What if you could make like a how it is right now, which is the normal, right? The normal amount. And then you could make another one, which is kind of like a funnier version, where it's even faster than, faster respawns than it is currently now. Make that kind of option. And then make an option on the other side, which is just like a lower, or like not a lower, like a longer time for them to respawn with the amount of troops they have. You know what I mean? Kind of like a realistic version, if you would put it that way, right? And it's like really slow respawns. But at the same time, if their respawns are really slow, the player, the character, you, has to, the recruiting has to be slowed as well. So there's going to be a lot less troops available, and they're instead of every single day there's new recruits placed in there. What if it becomes every single 3 days or every single 4 days? You know what I mean? It's going to be hard to find troops. You could really play around with that. I think that could be a cool menu option as well. That would change the game dramatically. So yeah, we'll see what they make happen, because obviously they said they're thinking about it. So therefore, they're chalking up some ideas, but they don't know completely what they want right now. Alright, now on to the next one. This right here. So obviously I want to just say it again. The multiplayer changes that were in 1.7.2, currently you can't really play them until this 1.7.2 becomes the live version, whenever we get the new beta version of the game. So therefore, we still haven't seen any of the changes. So yeah, if you are playing multiplayer, you're still not playing with the changes that were in the the patch notes and like that huge list they had that they also linked to it. So that one's still not available. But also right here, the dev states that there's going to be a lot more multiplayer changes, even more perk and weapon changes, and also captain mode will get some love as well in the next upcoming patches. So there's a lot to look forward in terms of multiplayer. In terms of what's called, like, what do you call them? Hotfixes. There wasn't any hotfixes yet for 1.7.2. It's been kind of a while, but it looks like everything's running fine. Obviously, there's always some little problems here and there, but nothing too crazy for a hotfix, but we might get one soon. Next, I wanted to talk about this guy right over here. Listen, kind of like a little shout out, I guess, but he doesn't even need it because the content is great. But I've been watching his videos like a lot lately. He used to be a modder, and he used to be really heavy on the forums. I don't know if he still is. I had some disagreements with him, I'm not gonna lie to you, but he's been on his YouTube grind, and yeah, y'all should go check him out. He has like all these little like templates or like little mods that he's kind of showing off. I don't know if these are available anywhere, like on the stores, or if they're just kind of like showing off what he's capable of. But regardless, pretty cool little miniature videos. So go check that out if you are interested in the modding, in terms of modding for Bannerlord. And lastly, I want to check the Steam charts. So the Steam charts, it's actually not that bad. As we can see, it's been going down for a little bit. It is what it is. But in the past month, they state that there is a percent gain. Nothing too crazy though, but still pretty good. Obviously, there's some huge games out right now. Elden Ring has been taking like players from every single sphere of gaming. Like they've just been taking over. So obviously, some people are going to play that over Bannerlord. It is what it is. It's the hot new game right now, but it's still going steady. Like we're still just having steady amounts. Sometimes a lot bigger peaks. Good to see, but the player base is still pretty good and steady. So that's pretty much going to do it. I'll probably do another one of these update videos. We'll see whenever more stuff comes out. Hopefully you guys liked it, and I will see you in the next one.